Greetings, programs, and welcome to Primetime Part 2. So, mad thanks once again to Shell's Art. For anyone who saw my update video, I mentioned she was working on some new graphics for this channel, give it some actual identity. I'm loving what she came up with. Link to her will be a mainstay in the description. Go check her out. She does great stuff. But yes, we are doing another round of Primetime. So, the reason I want to do this is, one, I'm going to be dropping to slightly less, higher edited content, but I wanted to go out with a bit of a bang with this daily video thing. And two, first Primetime was a disaster in my eyes. The whole point of it was to try and do, almost daily videos, hence, it being 7 videos. And they were, it ended up taking me several weeks to do it all. So, I'm back, and basically this is my redemption arc before I go into a slightly different way of doing things. Now, today we're going to be looking at a bit of a weird figure. It's a fantastic, amazing figure. However, mine is a little bit damaged. And I'm in the process of restoring it. Sadly, haven't been able to get all the parts that I need. But it's a cool enough figure that it's worth looking at despite a few missing parts. So, let me introduce you to the star of the show today. Transformers Cybertron Leader Class Optimus Prime. Right off the bat, I am missing all of his missiles, his unique planet key. He actually had a planet key that looked like the Matrix of Leadership. I don't have that. Someone's actually making me a custom one of those, so major thanks, dude. If he wants a link to his stuff, I'll put that in the description too. Otherwise, I'll just leave it be. But either way, I will show it off when I finally have it. He is missing a small piece right here that you can see on this side. It's supposed to have that. And actually the slider to bring up his head is missing. So I'll be using a screwdriver for that. But holy cow. Even with some damage, this is probably the most insane Transformer I have ever seen. This thing is massive. It is beautiful, and I love it. So, as you can see, this is his, I guess it was a fire truck in Transformers Cybertron. So this is his, fire truck mode that he had in that show. Again, I can't get over, this thing is enormous. This thing is a spectacle. So, as you can see, it's got tons of wheels, even a few more hiding out underneath here. This is this is the second version of the figure released. The molds are identical, but this one has black instead of blue, and it also has the 4 planet key emblems on the sides of the cab here. There's a few other color differences. It doesn't really matter. This thing's incredible. So, in this mode, you do have boom articulation, so you can, angle these up quite a bit, actually, as well as rotate them on some insanely tight and insanely loud ratchets. Same on this side, though this ratchet isn't quite as terrifying as the other one. I actually had to rebuild this ratchet, so that was fun. And while I don't have any batteries that work right now, / there might be something wrong with his electronics, I don't know. This side does actually have a button right here that would activate lights and sounds. I can't do that, but we can take Cybertron Megatron's planet key. Obviously, any planet key would do this. But you can put it in on this side, and it opens up this rail cannon that, obviously, as I'm sure you can guess, that light would, you know, flash and do stuff as you hit the button. But even just throwing in the key, it looks really cool. And on the other side, pop in a planet key over here, it launches out 2 extra little missile launchers, which, again, I don't have the missiles for. But, ongoing project. I'll do an update someday when I get him fully repaired. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will notice this is what the Transformers Siege Galaxy Upgrade Optimus was based on. And this thing does it better. I'm not going to lie. This thing just does everything better than the Siege version did. I still really like the Siege version, but this is superior. There's just no way around it. And one of the things that makes this one superior in my mind is this has a third mode that you don't get with the actual Siege version. So, to get to that mode, you're just going to take these booms, put them straight up, then take these side panels, pull them out, and rotate them down. And same thing on this side. I do not actually have enough room to turn him all the way around. But here you have the flying truck mode. And I don't care how ridiculous this is. This mode is just so cool. It's so massive. This is a thing that he did in the show. I love it. So, trying to get back down to earth here. Worth mentioning, you can pull this piece out, give him a little hand blaster. You know, I'll probably use that in a second here. So we're going to get down to his base robot mode. Because just like the Siege one, there's a base robot, and then there's an armored robot. So, to get to the base robot, we're first just going to rip off this entire back section, which you can see there's a clip and a weird little peg here. Then opposite on this side, weird peg and clip. Those just join together, and these slots right here are what these go up into. His obvious robot feet. But we're gonna go ahead, get the backpack out of the way for now. And we're going to focus on just the boy himself. Now, for as awesome as this guy is, I did have a hard time finding much documentation on him, so I won't lie, I might get something wrong here, or miss, you know, a not obvious step, but I'm doing my best. He's still cool. So, to transform him into his robot mode, I like to start the feet, so you're just going to come down here, and, you know, we'll go ahead. We'll unpeg the legs from each other. Then these bottom sections are actually on like a spring-loaded piece. So you're going to rotate them up and around, and then these 2 little pegs will tab in right there. Same thing on this side. Then bend everything up like that. Go ahead and fight with the camera a little bit. Drop this piece down, and worth mentioning while we're here, he does have a matrix of leadership. I'm not going to pull it out, because it's very hard to get it out, and that's all there is to it. It's hollow on the back side. Not worth pulling out, but still really cool that it's there. So, close that back up. Going to take these 2 side windows, bring them forward. They will lock together. They have some little interlocking tabs right there. So, those lock together. Then you're going to come to the front of the cab, split it in half, which can be a little bit tricky. Then each piece is on this little boom, so you'll bring it out and around and plug it into the side of his body. Oh, but before you can do that, you do actually have to bring down his arms and kind of get them started out of the way, as well as bring up his shoulders that are on a double hinge. So there's a lot of just getting things out of the way. I'm sure if I read some actual directions on him, you know, I'd be able to do this a whole lot smoother, you know, and have things like in the right order. But that was not something I was able to do. But I give this guy props that, you know, an idiot like me can actually just grab him and figure out how to do 90% of his modes. So, like I said, this little tab, there's supposed to be a piece back here to slide his head up with, but that is broken off on mine. Again, something I'm going to be fixing. But I can easily just take a screwdriver, pop it in here, pull out his head, and here we have the base robot mode for Cybertron Optimus. And this thing's still really cool, even on its own. Much, much better than the standalone robot mode that the Siege version has. I'm not gonna lie. His face is a little bit creepy to look at, I won't lie. It's more just the expression that they molded onto him. But you do have a little lever on the back of the head right here. So if I pull that lever down, said pull the lever down, not push your head down, it flips up his battle mask. Worth noting, you can only do this while he's looking forward. There's actually a little cutout right here for the mask to go up through. So, articulation-wise, the head does turn. It's very tight on mine, but he can look around. Shoulders have a full 360 rotation. Shoulder pads do kind of move out of the way for a little bit of arm outward movement. Yeah, outwardment. It's got a rotation just above the elbow. Nice ratcheted elbow that actually goes both ways due to transformation, but mainly it's got a little bit over 90. He does actually have opening hands. If you move the front skirt out of the way, he can kick forward all the way. He can kick back all the way while in this mode. And you can actually push these wheels up out of the way to get him to do the splits. Also, this likes to come unpegged, at least on mine. He's got thigh rotation right underneath that. Ratchet 90 degrees at the knee. And you can bend the toes down if you need to. But, again, for his age, the posability on this guy is just incredible. And again, he looks fantastic. Now, you can go ahead, give him this gun. It does have two little tabs on either side. These will actually peg in right there on either hand. And just close the hand up. And he does a great job of holding his blaster, which is not something I can say for every, you know, Optimus I've dealt with, especially figures that have opening hands like this. Some of these are terrible at holding their guns. This guy does it really well. But, I'm going to take the gun away, and we're actually going to get him into his super mode. So, first thing we're going to do is actually come down here, take these pieces, unpeg them from the back of the heel, bring them back down like robot mode, and then rotate them right here. And as you can see, this peg is getting clipped in right there. And then fold the foot down to lock into place. Same thing on this side. Right up, clip it in, lock it in. Really cool thing before I forget. Yes, his wheels, you know, actually hit the ground while he's in this mode. These wheels in particular are spring-loaded. And he is heavy enough that he just pushes them up and his feet still hit the ground like normal. But, go ahead. He's going to have a little bit of a hard time standing, so I'm just going to lay him down here. And readjust the camera because he's about to get real big. Then we're going to bring the whole backpack unit back in, gun reattached. You're actually going to open up these pieces right here. And if I can get it to show, there's a little clip right there. Piece that clips in is hanging off the bottom there. So you're going to want to bring these both up. Get them out of the way. Then these two pieces here, rotate them back and pull them out. Reason you rotate them back is these two little pieces here, they are spring-loaded. They sit right there to hold this up flat while it's in truck mode. So you will need to rotate that way and have these out of the way to get the clearance. Get the wing section out of the way. Then these will split apart. Rotate these guns out to the side and rotate them down. Same thing. Out to the side. Rotate it down. Bring Optimus back in. Turn him around. So, as you can see, there's a clip there. Two pegs there. There's a spot to go in. There's a peg there. And then there's a hole there for one of these two pegs. And then just a gaping void that the other one goes into. Oh, and a spot there and another peg down here. So just going to line all that up and get it clipped on to the back so he's actually got some heels and can stand. For as back heavy as this guy is about to become, those actually are that's all it takes to give him fantastic, you know, really stable stance, which is appreciated. So, then we're going to turn him around. We're going to take the wings and actually rotate them around. I did this one the long way, but rotate them around so that the booms are facing downward. And rotate the booms out, just to get them out of the way. And then these will actually go, if you can see, there's a bit of a lip on the inside of them. Those have little tracks that they follow right here on his sides. So just go ahead, slide those in. Try to get them turned around. Bring these down and clip them in the front. And then open up the sides of his helmet. And here you have Transformers Cybertron Leader Class Optimus Prime in his Super Robot mode. This thing is stupidly huge, and I absolutely adore it. Now, posability is basically the same. He can't move his legs back is the only difference. There's a bit of stuff getting in the way now, so the legs don't go back as easily as they did. But for the most part, still got all the same posability. He's just massive and looks great. Now, the one thing I give the Siege version is it did actually give him a place to hold on to these booms while he's in this mode. But yeah, this is far and above the superior figure. There's not even a ton to say about it once it's in this mode, other than the fact I didn't have that wing flipped up all the way. It's just, it's massive and it looks so good. You know, I know that might be a bit of an anticlimax. You know, I don't have a lot to say. Look at this thing. What is there to say? This is awesome. So there's a reason that I'm putting in the time and effort to restore this guy. This figure is worth restoring. This thing is incredible. If you have a chance to get one of these guys, either version of him, you know, the one that has the normal blue. In fact, let's go ahead and bring in my Transformers Siege Galaxy Prime. We'll actually do a size comparison like I haven't done in, you know, ages. Mine sadly still has loose hips. I have not found a way to really help those. So you can get a sense here just how much bigger the old one was. Not to mention just the extra girth of it being, you know, a lot thicker and just more solid in places. Either version of this guy, absolute buy if you collect Transformers at all. Just do it. He's wonderful. That said, I do still really like this guy. I'm actually on a quest of getting this guy upgrade kits. So he will be looking different down the road. Again, for fun, I might do an update video at some point. But one last time, we will bask in the awesomeness of Transformers Cybertron Optimus Prime. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.